Another part of the ultimate compression and compressors guide here on MixbusTv. In this video, the best VariMu compressor plugins. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixbusTv. Hope you're having a great day. First video, I think, with the new camera frame so you can see the big mains Eve Audio SC3012. Just one, but the biggest and the most badass pair out of the 5 pairs of monitors that are laying around this room. When the desk is finally gonna be here, you will see all of them. Before we start, check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy and special discounts and offers on plugins. And now, if you want to support MixbusTv, but most important, access to exclusive content, you can become a MixbusTv member by clicking the join button down here. You will access to members only exclusive posts, live chats, Pro Tool sessions and files, and even email consultation and Skype consultation on your mixes with me. We've seen best analog in the previews. In this one, best VariMu plugin compressors. And number one could not be anything else but the mighty Clang MJUC. This plugin is hands down the best VariMu compressor out there, but not just that, it is one of the best plugin compressors in general. I think it's still the benchmark for hardware emulation for pretty much anything out there. And it's pretty crazy how very inexpensive this plugin is. I was one of the first one, if not the first one, to review this plugin when it came out. I was blown out myself about this plugin, and shortly after that video it gained so much popularity because it's such an amazing sounding plugin compressor. It comes in 3 versions, MK1, 2, and 3. Each of them have different features, different sounds, and they are modeled after different hardware units. MK1 being the most vintagey sound, and MK3 still has that vibe and tubey vintage, but it has the most feature for attack, release, punch. Of course, it's a favorite for vocals, female vocals for me in particular. It's also great on the 2 bus. Whether or not you use the compression itself, the saturation of this plugin sounds just nothing else out there. I have a dedicated review on this one, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Check out the review, and if you don't know it, just get it. Number 2, Arturia Tubesta. Arturia this year came out with such a great collection of plugins. Their 3 comps, 3 preamps, the free reverb, the filters, and the Arturia Tubesta is definitely one of the best style level emulation out there, and in general one of the best tube compressor emulation plugin. This plugin is the digital recreation of the old Gates style level compressor that we've seen in the analog VariMu video. The great thing about this plugin is all the added controls, filters, sidechain that the hardware doesn't have. It doesn't have the same weight and thick color of the old Gates or even the retro style level hardware, but this plugin has everything you want from a great VariMu compressor. Its behavior, it's capable of very high amount of gain reduction with no artifacts. Its color is contained, it's very classy, is not too much distorted even if you drive it, and with all the controls it has on board is so very versatile. So definitely check it out. Number 3, UAD Fairchild. Now, I don't have that much experience myself with this plugin. I worked with it a couple of times, I tried it a couple of times, but I don't have UAD myself. Maybe after NAMM we'll see. But definitely this is universally recognized as one of the best Fairchild emulation, which is the grandfather of all VariMu compressor, and UAD makes great stuff, so it definitely needed to be in this list. For the little experience that I have, is pretty much what you would expect it to be. Great plugin for vocals, great plugin for 2 bus. Its color is not that thick, but I noticed UAD compressors do have a specific behavior, as in it seems like you can get away with more gain reduction than most of the other plugins in native form. But yeah, definitely this one had to be in the list, and so the next one, same thing. I don't have it because it's the UAD VariMu, officially licensed by Manley. UAD again brought a great piece of hardware in digital form. I don't know how close to the hardware this one is, but first of all, the Manley VariMu is definitely a studio standard, so if there's a plugin version, you want to check that out first. And second, I worked with the Massive Passive EQ that UAD did, and again officially licensed by Manley, and that is scary close. So I can only imagine the VariMu compressor is gonna be in the ballpark, because the EQ is very impressive. And I know Ivana Mali, I know she wouldn't endorse something that is not legit, and you know, UAD has a great reputation, so definitely UAD Mali needed to be in this list. But right next to it, there is the best native alternative and emulation of the VariMu. If not direct emulation, is inspired by it a lot, is the Pulsar limiter compressor that I reviewed not long ago. You guys love that plugin. I loved it myself. I've been using it since then. Pulsar with this one didn't just nail the VariMu behavior. You can get away with a lot of compression. It's very transparent in its action. It's so very versatile. It's not that colored, which is a good thing. It's a great alternative to all the colors and the style levels and the Fairchilds that are usually very colored. It has so many controls that actually makes VariMu a workhorse compressor for any mix. It's priced well, often on sale. I'm not going to spend too many words on this one because I have a dedicated review on it, so check that out. But just to give you a couple of examples, the way I use this plugin is to write either slow basses or slow synths. It's great for pads. It's great for electronic music in general because it does have a smoothing factor to all digital sounds, not in a way of saturation or roll-off. It's just the action of the compression. I feel it helps the genre in particular. Like we said before, in the plugin world especially, there are not so many VariMu compressors, like different models and different emulations. So we kind of always circle around the same. And the next one is AK Multimedia Fairchild. I don't use that many AK Multimedia plugins, but they really did a good job with this one. It does have a glue factor to it, and it kind of has a different kind of vintage vibe compared to the others. It also has mid-side functions, and the kind of saturation it has is very subtle, but it's again different from all the others that we mentioned before, so definitely check it out. The next one was modeled after one specific Fairchild, which is Jack Joseph Puig unit. And this is kind of the fun part of these plugins, especially to compare them for learning purposes, because even if they all emulate the same 2-3 units, they emulate different actual units. So they're modeled after specific units in different studios. And vintage gear all sound different. And of course, every company has a different way to capture the response of the unit, the characteristics of the unit, analyze them, analyze the components, and come up with different algorithm. Waves Puigchild, I have no idea how close to the real hardware is, but regardless, it's a great sounding plugin and it's very versatile. It's great on many sources. I must have used this one from vocals to guitars to synths, not much on drums and not much on electric guitars, but take these two away and this is a great plugin from pretty much anything, especially if you combine it with a faster compressor like an 1176 or API 2500 and follow it with this one. It does sound pretty great. I feel it has a different color from all the other colored compressors in the Waves family. One thing to pay attention with this one is as soon as you put it on the track, it cuts a little bit of low end. So check it out if you use it on bass or bass heavy material. Check it out, make sure either you compensate or you account for that. So it cuts a little bit of low end on tracks as soon as you insert it, even if you don't compress it. Last in the list, just because it was recently released, and again, I did a review on this one, is the Royal Compressor by United plugin. This is an emulation, actually I should say, it's just inspired by the RS-124, the old limiter compressor that was at Abbey Road. We've seen the analog version Chandler makes in the analog video. This one is really quirky, nice and gritty. It's completely different from all the other VariMu compressor. It's jumpy, it's really colored, it has a saturation knob independent from the compression. You can drive really hard. It's definitely not a compressor for every track, but it has such a unique sound, such a unique color that it's definitely a tool that you want to keep there. I love this one in particular. I learned on parallel vocals and parallel synths or even acoustic guitars. So try these three uses for the Royal Compressor. It's totally a cool plugin. And to end this video in a fair way, I have to mention the fact that there are at least 2 more style level emulation out there, which I never tried, so I know nothing about them. And they are the SK Note and the Analog Obsession. And if you guys tried these 2 or other VariMu emulation that I'm not aware of, leave your feedback in the comment down below. Let me know how they compare. Let everybody know how they compare, how they sound. But this is it for this video. All the links to the plugins mentioned in this video are going to be in the info box down below. I hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. Make sure to check out all the videos in this series to see all the differences between the various topologies, diode bridge, PWM, VariMu, best hardware, cheapest, plugins, uses, and so on. Next video, we are going to see diode bridge compressor. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.